What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's go ahead and give this a second go. I already filmed one video of this same video and none of it had audio, so I'm redoing this again. But anyways, guys, welcome back. It's been about a month since the last time we filmed or posted anything. I just want to go ahead and apologize for that. There hasn't really been anything to update you guys on, but now we've got a lot of shit in, and actually it's the 30th as we're filming this, and this puppy right here is going to start assembly this weekend. After this video, I'm going to go ahead and start measuring bearings, make sure everything's going to work, and I'm going to go ahead and start putting her together, at least a short block, because we're still waiting on lifters in the mail because they're back ordered. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and give you guys a little update on how things have been and where things are at and really what's going on. So here we go. So first things first, last time we talked, I believe this wasn't even stripped down yet. I want to say it was in short block form. And I talked about sending it off to the machinist. Well, it's been to the machinist and it's come back. So the block's completely all done, ready. We had the cylinders honed, and as it came home, I went ahead and painted it all so it looks badass, all clean. And I'm sorry if there's any loud blowing noise. There's a fan going in here. But yeah, this is the block now. Painted up, she's ready to go. Cylinders are smooth as hell with the honing. Really couldn't be any happier. The heads are back, so these are all done. We ended up having them decked, cleaned up, hot tanked, and then we had a valve job done because the valves were pretty caked up from how many miles were on the motor. But these things are badass. I seriously couldn't be any happier with them. I really just want to give a huge shout out to Matt Rogers for machining my block and machining the heads, doing all the machine work. I seriously can't thank you enough. You really put me out there and you're going to get me going, and yeah, I can't thank you enough, dude. Awesome work. Looks badass. So while we were also there, we had my pistons and rods. We had them hot tanked, all cleaned up. So those are ready to get re-ringed, and then we're going to check all the bearings in them, the rod bearings, make sure they're all within spec. And then we had the crank sent off. We had it tanked and we had it polished, so she's all ready to go, so it's all looking good. So yeah, that's really all the machine work we did. We had the block honed, cleaned up, hot tanked, had the heads done, valve job, and then we also had the crank tanked and polished, and then tanked the pistons since they were pretty corroded. They're pretty gross, but now they're pretty good. So really that's with that. Yeah. So I've got a little update on the transmission. So we heard back. The transmission guy, he's just about ready for my transmission to be done. We should be hopefully picking it up next week. Cross my fingers. If that's the case, really all we got to do now is we got to pick up our torque converter, and we need to get a shifter because I'm going with the center shift. I'm ditching column shift, and I'm getting a quick ratchet shifter from B&M, and that's what I'm going to be running in that. So that's the transmission update. So we're getting closer and closer. But I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little haul of everything that I bought, everything that's ready. Some things I've had for a while. But yeah, I'm really just going to be showing you guys what we've got and what we're getting ready for. So yeah, here we go. So we're just going to go off down the line, kind of show you guys everything I've got here. It's not a whole lot, but I'm pretty much doing everything brand new. I don't really want to do any short stops. I kind of just want to do everything new, have something badass and clean the way I want it. So we're just going to go ahead and start off. We've got our gauge adapters. So this is for water temperature and oil pressure to adapt to my old sensors, from the electronic ones to the old gauges in my pickup. I'm not going to open it. They're just metal adapters for fittings and stuff like that. We went ahead and went with the Summit timing set. Nothing special. This is the timing set right here. Really just it's basic timing set, nothing upgraded special, anything like that. So that's that. Go ahead and put that there. And then next, so we've got some Summit coolant crossovers for the heads. I didn't like the factory ones, so I went ahead and got these. Made in America, baby. We got some the billet stands for them, so those will bolt to the head, and then we got the steel braided line that crosses over from head to head. We got one for the front and the rear. Then we got our ICT billet aluminum oil cooler block off. We're not going to be running an oil cooler at all on this engine for my pickup, so we just needed to block that off, and got that right there. Badass. We got our trunnion kit. So I bought this one from Texas Speed. It's not Texas Speed brand, but it is a brand that was offered on Texas Speed, and these are actually not the needle bearing trunnion kit upgrade. I went ahead and went with the bushing type. So we've been hearing some things about the bushing type that they'll outlast the needle bearing ones. So I thought, well, hell, I'll give it a shot. So we're gonna go ahead and try these out. We're gonna look at getting new rocker arms. We've been hearing that if you have old worn out rocker arms, they could possibly eat up the bushings. So we're gonna really go over those, and if I just decide, which I might just go ahead and do it anyways, buy all new rocker arms to do that. So that's the trunnion kit right there. There's that. Also came with new rocker arm bolts, so those are all set up, all badass. Went ahead and went with the Summit brand oil pump. I looked into the factory oil pump and decided I wanted to do something different. Went with the high pressure oil pump. It looks like a factory one here. Let me use it in hand here. It's just a high pressure oil pump. Didn't really want to go with the stock one. And didn't want to go with the high volume. Heard those have had problems with actually starving the oil pan out of oil because they suck too much oil up. So with the high pressure, give me a little bit more oil pressure at idle. So there's that. That's an oil pressure pump or oil pump. Slide that aside. So we're gonna go ahead and the new bearings and rings. So we got some new King rod bearings right here. Just gotta check and make sure the size fits correctly, and then we'll be rocking on those. Got King main bearings, and then we went ahead and went with Seal Power piston rings. So there's those. Nothing too special, just rod, main, and rings. Not really anything special about those. Ended up going with some ARP head bolts. So there's some reasoning behind that. So if any of you have ever dealt with an LS, you guys know the bolt or the head bolts are torque to yield, and torque to yield honestly sucks if you've never really learned it or done it before, but it just sucks in general to use and do. So we ditched that completely. ARP, you're supposed to be able to just torque to whatever you want. You don't have to do torque to yield. You're set. Also the fact that any of the torque to yield ones or anything that is pretty much anything other than ARP, they're one-time use only. So if you ever have to take the heads back off, if you want to remachine them or get anything done to them, you're buying new head bolts, which sucks. Those are, I think they're $109 at the cheapest for a set of them, when you can spend almost $180 on a set of ARP head bolts and be set and can use them as many times as you please. So there's that. I went ahead and got some MSD plug wires. Just the fact that they're red, they look better, but also the fact that I'm probably going to run an MSD system in the future, but I'm not 100% sure if I ever will do it. But if I do, I have the plug wires for it. So the next thing we got here, we got a nice oil breather set right here. It's not a big name brand oil breather. It's just a nice black one. It's got the drainer on the bottom, it'll have the breather on top, and then it's got a to and return line on the side of it. So that'll be nice. Doesn't need to be anything special, but it's going to work perfect for what I am doing here. One of the next things, not really too special. We got our gasket kit. Actually spent some time looking at what gasket kit I want to run. Went ahead and went with the Molly brand. They look pretty good. Got them through Jags. It was about $300 for this whole kit. Should seal the whole motor. It comes with the head gaskets, everything. And it was kind of questionable at first whether these were going to be nice, whether the quality was going to be good, because they were on the cheaper side. But really, it was one of the factors of, we went to Napa and some other local places and looked at elsewhere, and they're stupid expensive. Napa wanted like $900 for this same full gasket kit. But when we got this here, actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty quality, so I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how that goes. But there's our Molly gasket kit for the full motor. So this is the fun box right here. I've had this Texas Speed box sitting around for a couple months now. I went ahead and did one of their camshaft packages. I ended up going with the Bald Eagle cam by Cletus McFarlane. Should chop up pretty good, bring up some power. It'll rev out to like 7 grand, I believe is what it was, or a little bit above 7 grand. It's a 600 lift cam, 227, 234. And then it's a 111 LSA. And then we also got in the kit, we got the 660 high lift valve springs, and it has the titanium retainers, new valve guide seals, all that. And we also got a chromoly push rod kit. So that's really the fun box right there. This thing is going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear how mean and choppy this thing sounds. So there's that box. So really, other than that, there's not too much to update you guys on. Really the last things that I'm really needing, other than assembling it, is I just need the whole front drive stuff. So Well, I actually got a new AC pump. So I got that, and really I'm just gonna get another power steering pump, all the new belts and pulleys, all that. And that's really the last stuff we need. And then we also need a cooling system. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a 3-core or 1-inch core aluminum radiator with a dual electric fan set up on it. And then really that's it. There's not too much more we need to do or get. I already have the fuel pump and all that. And actually we have a slight change of plans too. We might be running 2 fuel pumps, one for the motor and possibly one for a nitrous kit. I'm not 100% sure or sold on that. It's thrown up in the air, and we're still deciding between me and my dad and a couple of buddies if we want to do that this pickup or how long this motor would last with nitrous on it. Because I mean, I'm not going to be out ripping on it 24/7. I still want to be able to take it on the street and bump around town and have fun, chop up the block. So yeah, other than that, that's really all there is to update on, you guys. I don't know how much I'm going to show you guys of assembling this thing. This is really a learning curve for me and a learning process. This is really like my first V8 that I've tackled by myself. I've helped my dad on them. I've worked on them before, but nothing as extensive as what I'm doing here. As you guys know, I'm used to building flat 4 air-cooled motors for Volkswagens. I know what I'm doing when it comes to that, but this is foreign territory to me. So I don't know how much I'll be showing you guys, like I said. I'll try and capture as much as I possibly can. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and peace out of here. I got some work I got to do this. I got some parts I need to clean up and get ready for the assembly. Got some things I got to still paint for it. But other than that, guys, keep your mullets up. Keep them all cleaned up. Got the American flag in the side of mine. Stay classy with your mullet. Keep your head up. Keep a smile on your face and stay positive. I love you guys all, and thank you for watching.